Imagine this. A steel giant carving its way through the Pacific not as a show of might, but as a message. A message written not in ink, but in iron and propulsion. Its name is Fujian, and it may be the clearest sign yet that the global balance of power is shifting. It doesn't speak, but it doesn't have to. Its presence alone says everything. We are here, and we're not playing by the old rules. For centuries, control over the oceans has meant control over the world. The British Empire ruled with wooden ships and cannons, the United States with aircraft carriers and nuclear submarines. But today, a new contender emerges, and it's not asking for permission. This isn't a documentary about ships, it's about strategy. It's about the long game, how China is methodically reshaping not just its navy, but the very nature of warfare. Let's begin where most stories end, with dominance. Fujian is not just a warship, it's a floating symbol of intent. At over 300 meters long, weighing more than 80,000 tons, Fujian is the largest and most advanced aircraft carrier ever constructed outside of the US Navy. And for the first time in China's history, it uses electromagnetic catapults. The same tech that powers America's Gerald R. Ford class is now in Beijing's hands. That means fighters launch faster, with less strain, greater efficiency, and more rapid-fire capability. But hardware is only half the story. These carriers are launch pads, not just for aircraft, but for geopolitical ambition. Onboard Fujian, China can deploy fifth-generation stealth fighters, equipped with hypersonic missiles like the DF-27. This isn't just speed. This is a missile that travels over Mach 10, evades interception, maneuvers in flight, and carries a nuclear payload. It has a range of over 8,000 kilometers, enough to hit targets across continents. The Pentagon has already acknowledged there's no reliable defense against this class of missile yet. But while the world looks to the sky, China's strategy dives deeper. There's the AG-21, a maneuverable non-ballistic missile designed to outsmart traditional anti-air systems. It hugs terrain, changes path mid-flight, and turns the battlefield into a guessing game. By the time it shows up on radar, it's too late. But missiles are just the tip of the spear. Enter Marker, an autonomous robot, equipped with thermal vision, onboard targeting AI, and an arsenal that adapts based on the mission. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't tire. It calculates, moves, and eliminates, with terrifying precision. This is not future tech. This is active deployment. In test zones across China's military provinces, robotic units are now part of drills, learning, adapting, evolving. Imagine this: a battlefield where one side uses fear, instinct, and emotion. The other, algorithms and steel. Who do you think wins? Now zoom out. Imagine Fujian sailing not alone, but as the head of a massive naval procession. Destroyers to the left, cruisers to the right, support vessels behind. It looks like a military parade at sea, but it's a projection of sovereignty. Every ship isn't just a weapon. It's a sentence in China's maritime manifesto. And what about land? Meet Uranst, an armored crawler designed to defuse and destroy landmines. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't stop. It clears paths for troops without risking a single human life. In the air, things get even stranger. China is experimenting with laser shields on fighter jets, defensive beams that may one day burn incoming missiles before they even get close. There's even talk of plasma-based shielding, a glowing, superheated bubble that surrounds fast-moving aircraft and melts whatever dares approach. Sounds like science fiction. China's already prototyping it. And while Western nations argue over ethics, China is building Terminator-style units, robots that walk, observe, and engage with targets without direct human control. Now add in swarm drones, tiny, fast, cheap, and deadly. The Iron Spiders, as they're called, autonomous mini-drones that climb walls, enter bunkers, and detonate on impact. One is terrifying. 100 is game over. More than $10 billion has already gone into hypersonic tech. Missiles, aircraft, propulsion systems. Everything is faster, smarter, harder to stop. Even Chinese paratroopers are evolving. With advanced jump gear, they can leap from high altitudes, glide over long distances, and land precisely within meters of intended targets. And then there's the EJ-91, a smart missile system with self-adjusting flight paths, heat-seeking guidance, and the ability to destroy both stationary and mobile targets. It doesn't just follow a target, it predicts it.